Welcome back to another edition of Between Two FARS. I'm Warneke Miller here once again with the amazing Bob, who's on the way out the door, and he's got some things to share with you today. We're going to do a brief section on debriefings because that's an area that everybody's got questions on, and sometimes some very specific questions. So today we're just going to do a pinpoint focus on what do you put in your debriefing slides. Bob, imagine I'm a contracting officer and I've got to decide how much information to put in the debriefing slides I'm about to show to a disappointed offerer. What sort of things should I be thinking about?
Well, you have to be doing a couple things. You have to be generating a record because it's key that, it's new or should have known triggers the timelines as to how many days are left. And if it looks like you're hiding the ball and you fail to put people on notice, the net result of that is the clock may not be ticking like you think it is. So, you have to choose your words carefully. And I've seen a lot of folks think, well, I'll speak to that. I won't put it on the slides. And a couple things become an issue there. For one thing, you don't have the proof that you normally would have. You don't have a record. Because you've got to remember that the best way to handle this is you put those slides in the contract file at the end, and what you stated, but you didn't write down, it's not there, okay? I suppose you could write it, but the question becomes, did you really say that? And this way you have a record. It's quite easy to see what that record is. The second consideration is a lot of times the people that show up for the debriefing are not folks that make the decision with regard to whether or not to protest. They don't hear the briefing and all they see are what are put in the slides. In a very convincing argument that you did everything right or that they did something wrong, if it's not in the slides, the folks making that critical decision as to whether or not to hire counsel, they don't know it. And so your advocacy, needs to be spelled out there so that they can say, boy, we messed up, or boy, these guys did a good job. We shouldn't go any further.
All right, let's talk about that standard you set forth, known or should have known. Is that important because that's the basis for when you can file a bid protest?
Well, yeah, it tells you that the 10 days begin to run from that point in time. So the issue becomes if it's buried somewhere, if they weren't on notice, the clock's not ticking. The whole point is one of equity. They give you 10 days to take action once you knew or should have known. But if you've arguably hidden the ball or they weren't advised or put on notice, whatever, it doesn't start. It starts when they find out.
Well, thank you very much, Bob, for these pithy and insightful comments about what you need to be thinking about as you're compiling your debriefing slides. We'll see you back here again next time, Between Two FARS.